It is a solemn anniversary to mark, but on Sunday, March 16th, 2020, 5 years ago, the Onondaga County Executive announced the first ever COVID case here.
It's been thousands of cases since, and many deaths too due to the virus.
And joining us now, someone who helped lead us through that pandemic, Upstate Global Health Director, Dr. Stephen Thomas. We're so glad you're joining us in the studio, Dr. Thomas. Thank you.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Let's start here. I mean, go back 5 years ago. Doesn't have to be exactly to the day, but kind of what do you remember from that moment in time?
I remember that even before March, people at Upstate and people within the county were kind of tracking what was going on around the country and certainly in downstate. And so we knew it was only a matter of time. So preparations were already underway, but you know, certainly when that first case occurred and we had a parade right in front of us, there were some immediate, very difficult decisions that had to be made by our elected officials. So that's what I remember.
Yeah. Right, and that was a tough call. We did have to cancel the parade for the first time. Yep. Maybe you could share some insight into some behind-the-scenes stuff that maybe we didn't know about that was going on as you had to make decisions on how to lead the way.
Well, one thing is this was from the national level through the state and then down to the county. And so there was just constant flows of information and communication that were occurring, and, accurate information, inaccurate information. As I've said often, infectious diseases is very much a local phenomenon, even though there's a pandemic going on. So we had very specific concerns that other folks in the state didn't have, or certainly folks nationally did not have. And so trying to make decisions locally that were in the best interest of Central New York didn't always comport with what maybe folks at the state level were thinking about. And so there was always that kind of wrangling that went on. But I feel strongly that certainly at the county level and in Central New York, but I think also at the state level, we did extremely well.
Yeah. When that first vaccine is developed and rolled out, I mean, what was your reaction to how big a breakthrough this was, especially in that kind of speed that it got done?
Right. So, my expectations were kind of managed because I was thinking, oh, this will be like a flu vaccine. We'll get something that's about 50% effective. That will have a huge public health impact because there's a pandemic going on. But when I saw that first data, and because of one of the roles I was playing, I saw it before the FDA was able to see it, and it was 95%
because you had
effective.
Trials, right? Yeah.
We were part of the trial, and I was the coordinating PI for the Pfizer-BioNTech trial, and so I got to see the data before it went to the FDA, and when I saw that 95% number, I was pretty blown away. I was very impressed.
It's impressive. You had to convey that to all the skeptics. Right?
Yeah. We did. We had to explain primarily the technology, so this messenger RNA technology, because everyone thought it was new, even though it had been around for 30, 40 years before. We had to convey how it was able to be developed so fast. We had a head start. We had a singular focus in the federal government. We had so much COVID that unfortunately, or fortunately, the vaccine we were able to make a determination very quickly about how the vaccine performed. So we still have still have conversations.
And we still hear it.
A lot of skeptics.
What do you think were the biggest challenges for health experts such as yourself looking at COVID then and now?
That's easy. Communication. The ability for scientists and clinicians and medical personnel to be able to communicate complex health topics, complex scientific topics to the general population and have it be accessible and have people understand it, even to this day, is a huge challenge, and there's a lot of work to be done. And, and rightfully so, people were very confused at times, which is why I always thought that what we were trying to do here was very important, because when people are confused, what are they going to do? They're going to go to a news source. They're going to go to a podcast, they're going to go to their radio station, they're going to go to their blog, their Facebook page, whatever, and they're not always going to get good information. So same challenge then is the same challenge today.
Maybe similar kind of question, but I think it could be answered in a different way potentially. I mean, what have we learned about COVID, maybe managing it but also specifically COVID. Do we know more about it? Are we getting better at getting a better vaccine, even something to maybe prevent us from getting it? So what do we know? What have we learned?
Yeah, so we know that what type of virus it is. We know that that virus mutates pretty frequently and evolves over time. We know that that evolution is clinically important. It can have an impact on how sick people get. It certainly has an impact in the drugs that will work, or the antibodies that will work, or the vaccines that will work. We do know how to take care of people better, certainly in the intensive care unit setting. We know who is at risk, at the greatest risk, and who's at a less risk. We know a little bit more about long COVID, so these post-acute COVID syndromes, which they think that there's close to 500 million people around the planet that have some sort of post-COVID syndrome. So we know a lot more than we did 5 years ago, but I think what we don't know is still a lot more than what we know.
Are we closer to a breakthrough then?
Well, I think, again, this messenger RNA vaccine technology, we've seen 1.0. There are so many permutations and variations on this technology and this theme that we haven't even gotten to 2.0 yet, or 3.0. So I think this idea that we have to keep updating the vaccine, that's an important lesson learned. But still, only about 1 in 4 people in this country who are eligible to receive it actually choose to receive it, which is about half of people that choose to get flu vaccines. So we still got a long way. To go there, but there's new drugs, there's new tests that come out, at-home tests, self-directed tests. So we're still trying to develop things.
We always appreciate having you on and keeping us updated and informed. It's very important, Dr. Thomas.
Great conversation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.